For generations, the Sheboygan River was the lifeblood of this Wisconsin community. A vital artery for industry, it powered the dreams and livelihoods of thousands. But beneath the surface, a silent killer was at work, a toxic legacy slowly poisoning the very heart of Sheboygan. In 1986, the alarm bells finally rang. The United States Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, designated the lower 14 miles of the Sheboygan River and its adjacent harbor as a Superfund site. A federal declaration of severe environmental degradation, signaling a monumental task ahead. The primary culprits in this environmental catastrophe were polychlorinated biphenyls, or PCBs, and polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, PAHs, along with various heavy metals. These insidious compounds, once widely used in industrial processes, had seeped into the river's sediments, creating a hazardous wasteland. So, who was responsible for this toxic legacy? Several corporations were identified as potentially responsible parties, or PRPs, by the EPA. Chief among them were Tecumseh Products Company. Their Sheboygan Falls plant, acquired in 1966, utilized hydraulic fluids containing PCBs. Disposal practices at the time allowed these PCBs to migrate from the facility into the river. Tecumseh, through its successor Pollution Risk Services, has been a significant party in the cleanup efforts. Thomas Industries Incorporated, another industrial player implicated in the contamination. Wisconsin Public Service Corporation. Their operations also contributed to the hazardous waste in the river system. Die-Cast Corporation. Though now bankrupt, this company was also named as a PRP. These companies, directly or indirectly, were linked to the industrial waste that had turned a vibrant river into a Superfund site. The Kohler Company Landfill. The 82-acre Kohler Company landfill site has been used since the 1950s and is located directly along the Sheboygan River. It is still utilized to this day with capping done to prevent toxic sediment from flowing down into the river. The ecological toll was immense. The very fabric of the river ecosystem was poisoned. Fish and wildlife populations suffered devastating impacts.
You just didn't see the variety of fish we used to. And the ones you did catch, well, you knew better than to eat them.
In 1979, even before the Superfund designation, the state of Wisconsin issued fish consumption advisories, warning against eating resident fish and certain waterfowl from the lower 14 miles of the river. The food chain itself was contaminated, with PCBs accumulating in the tissues of aquatic life, birds and mammals.
PCBs are persistent. They don't break down easily in the environment. They bioaccumulate, meaning they build up in organisms, and biomagnify, increasing in concentration as you move up the food chain. This had profound effects on everything from invertebrates to the bald eagles that once fished these waters.
The Superfund designation ignited a multi-decade effort to reclaim the Sheboygan River. The cleanup was a complex and arduous undertaking, involving federal, state, and local agencies, as well as the responsible parties.
Our primary goal was to reduce the risk to human health and the environment. This meant tackling the contaminated sediments, which were the reservoir of the PCBs and other pollutants.
Key cleanup actions included extensive dredging. From 2011 to 2013, over 400,000 cubic yards of contaminated sediment were removed from the river and inner harbor. This monumental effort involved mechanical dredging and hydraulic pumping, with the hazardous material transported to specially designed landfills. Soil removal. PCB-contaminated soils from the former Tecumseh Products facility and affected floodplain areas were also removed. Capping. In some areas, contaminated sediments were capped with layers of clean material to prevent further migration of pollutants.
It was a collaborative effort. The Superfund program, the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative, and the Great Lakes Legacy Act all played crucial roles in securing the funding and resources needed for this massive undertaking.
Fast forward to 2024. The Sheboygan River has undergone a remarkable transformation. The immediate threat of widespread contamination has been significantly reduced.
While PCBs are incredibly persistent, the removal of the bulk of the contaminated sediments has led to a significant decrease in pollutant levels in the water column and the upper layers of the riverbed. We're seeing improvements in sediment quality and a reduction in the overall contaminant load.
However, the battle isn't entirely over. The legacy of PCBs means that long-term monitoring is essential. Fish tissue is still collected annually, and sediment conditions are monitored every 5 years to ensure remedial action objectives are being met. While the food chain is cleaner, fish consumption advisories for resident fish still exist, reflecting the ongoing presence of persistent contaminants, albeit at reduced levels.
I still wouldn't eat everything I catch, but it's a far cry from what it used to be. You see more fish, and the river just looks healthier.
Beyond the chemical improvements, habitat restoration has been a crucial component of the recovery. Projects funded by various initiatives have focused on shoreline stabilization and restoration, in-stream habitat improvements, and restoring native plant communities in riparian zones.
These habitat projects are vital. They provide nesting sites for birds, spawning grounds for fish, and overall create a more resilient ecosystem. We're seeing a return of diverse wildlife, birds, amphibians, even some small mammals.
The Superfund designation in 1986 marked a dark chapter for the Sheboygan River. But through decades of tireless work, a commitment to environmental justice and significant financial investment from both the responsible parties and public funds, the river is on a path to recovery.
The river was once a black eye on our community. Now, it's becoming a source of pride, a recreational asset, and a catalyst for economic revitalization. We're seeing new businesses, increased tourism, and a renewed connection between the community and its river.
The Sheboygan River's story is a testament to the power of environmental regulation and the resilience of nature. It's a powerful reminder that while industrial progress can leave indelible marks, dedicated action can pave the way for healing, hope, and a healthier future for both people and the planet. The work continues, and the Sheboygan River stands as a beacon of what is possible when a community, its government, and even its past polluters, commit to a cleaner tomorrow.